Hello you guys, welcome to another video on the TK88 Productions YouTube channel. My name is Thomas, guys, and we're bringing you guys all the best drag racings here in the island of Hawaii. Now today, guys, we'll be explaining a bit more about the rules of the Kerr High School drags. Now, in the later video, guys, which I'll be kind of showing you, that's posted in the link down below, I showed you all about how to sign up for the high school drags. You just gotta go to the Hawaii Drag Racing League page and click to the link down there, and then you can sign up for the high school drags. But today, guys, we're going to be showing you all about, through a PowerPoint slide that I got here, while I'll be voicing over it to kind of explain to you more about the rules and regulations that you must follow depending on what your status is for a high school participant. Also tell you guys what is a high school drags, what is it about, and then also kind of give you guys a little bit few more reminders or requirements that we would ask for all of you high school participants to do before you guys come to the high school drags. But don't forget, you guys, on March 12, 2022 is going to be the first Kerr High School drags for this year, and hopefully there'll be more coming along, but stay tuned and let's get on to this video. Alright, guys, and welcome to this slideshow that we have prepared right here. In this slideshow, you guys, while I'll be talking over this slideshow, I'll be kind of explaining more into detail about, what is a high school drags, who can participate in the event, how much will it cost, but also get more into detail of the rules and regulations that we want all our high school participants to follow, depending on your status of either you have no license, a permit, or you have your provisional license. So stay tuned, you guys. We'll be explaining more into that. Also, we're giving you guys some requirements we want you to fulfill before you come to the race event, and also explain about the prizes that you could be able to win if you compete in this event. But anyways, guys, let's get on to this slideshow, and here we go. Alright, now some of you might be wondering, what is a high school drags? Well, a high school drags is a place where students can drive on the racetrack in a safe, secure facility. Now, at the Hilo drag strip where the high school drags are going to be taking place at, the track has on both sides of it guardrails that make sure that the race cars stay on the racetrack and don't drive off into the grass or anywhere else. Also, the first part of the track is prepped with rubber and with VHT or track bite. Now, VHT or track bite is a solution that when it's sprayed onto the track, it makes sure that the tires of every car sticks to that track, so that way they don't slide off or go anywhere else. And at the beginning of the racetrack and also at the finish side, there are track officials there to make sure that the track is safe enough for both cars to come down the racetrack. So they're there to make sure like there's any debris on the track, they can take it off. Or if you all know that in Hilo it rains sometimes or quite a lot, so they always have to check to make sure if there's rain anywhere on the track, they set the front of the track and know, hey, it's raining, stop the race, it's not safe yet. So they're there to make sure that the track is safe for both cars to go down. Now also at the beginning of the racetrack, it's mandatory that every racetrack has safety personnel there or an ambulance that can administer first aid in case of an incident ever happens. So that's why we recommend the high school drags be at a racetrack that is safe and secure facility, but also has personnel there, like track officials and safety personnel, that are there to administer aid or support or help if need, if there ever is an incident or something that happens at the racetrack. Now, one thing that we want to always emphasize to a lot of the young high school participants is that our drag race should be done on a racetrack, not on the streets. The reason why we emphasize that is because if you guys remember from the last slide, at our track, there's safety personnel there, there's track officials, and there's all types of support there to give you aid if something happens. But if you try to race on the streets, there's no guardrails, there's no safety personnel for like miles or hours. So it's much more safer to race on the drag strip or on the racetrack than on the streets, which is why there's a time and place to do the high school drags, which is at a drag strip. Now you might be wondering, okay, I know what a high school drags is, but who can compete in this race? Who can race in this one? Well, the high school drags is open up to any student with a current valid high school ID. Now, the reason that we say current is because we want it only available to high school students who are currently in 9th to 12th grade. We don't want to have a middle schooler or someone who's graduated from last year saying, well, yeah, I got a high school ID. Yeah, but you graduated. We don't want to have that. It's only open to current high school students. So you got to be either 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade in order for you to compete in this event. But I'm reminding you all that if you come to the high school drags on March 12th, please, you guys, remember to bring your high school ID. You must bring it with you to show proof that you're a current high school student. Alright, now that you all know what a high school drags is and who can compete into it, now we're going to get onto one of the first few rules that we'll explain first. So, say you're a high school student that just started high school, you probably don't have a permit or a license, you might be wondering, well, can I still compete? Yes, you can. But I'm going to explain to you guys right here, there's some rules that you must need to follow in order for you to compete into this. So first thing is, if you're a student with no license or a permit at all, you and your parent must be driving along with your parent. Now I'm going to explain to you how this goes. So when you bring the car to the racetrack, the parents, you as a parent, must drive the car up to the staging lanes and where the cars are all going to line up. Park their car in the staging lanes behind all the other high school racers, and then the parent and the student will switch seats to where the student would now be the driver. The student will take the car to the starting line, race the car down the track, and then once you pull off the track onto the return road, park off the side of the return road. Don't just stop on the return road and try to exchange, because there's going to be some other cars coming back that have also raced down as well. So when you come on the return road, park on the side on the grass of the road, and there the parent and the student will switch to where the parent, you will drive the car and the student back to the pits. And that's the rules that you must follow, and we will have personnel there that'll check to make sure, are you changing, because we cannot have students drive their cars back if you have no license, okay? So remember, for those of you that have no license or permit at all, parents, you must drive the kid to the staging lanes, stop the car, switch seats with the student. The high school student will take the car, race the car down the track, turn the car off the track onto the return road. Make sure you park the car off the return road onto the side, make way for all the other traffic that's coming that way. Then the student and the parent will switch again, and then the parent will drive the car back to the pits. So remember, this is the rules that you guys must follow if you have no license or permit whatsoever. Alright, for those of you that have just probably recently got your permit, you probably took the test, you finally got your permit, now you must be wondering, well, if I have a permit, can I still compete in the high school drags? Yes, you can. But there are still some rules that you guys must follow in order for you to compete, which I will explain right here on this slide. So, if you're a high school student that has a permit, you must still race with a passenger who we still recommend is your parents or legal guardian, but they must at least be 21 years old and have their own license. Now, the difference between you having a permit compared to those that have no license is that if you have a permit, you don't need to do any changing before and after the race. You as a high school student with a permit can take the car to the staging lanes, go to the starting line, stage the car, race down the track, and then once you're done on the racetrack, turn off on the return road, and then you as a student can drive the car with your passenger back to the pits. So that's the only difference right there, is with a permit, you can stay in the driver's seat the entire time, but you still must ride along with a passenger. We still recommend it's your parents or legal guardian, or at least someone that is 21 years and older. So yeah, you guys with a permit, you guys can race. Alright, if you are a high school student that has their provisional or full license, you are the only ones that can be able to drive by yourself independently, which means that you can drive the car up to the staging lanes by yourself, take the car up to the starting line, race down the racetrack, turn off on the return road, and then come back to the pits, and with the whole time you're in the car by yourself. Now remember, if you have a permit or no license, you must always have a passenger with you. Only those that have a provisional or full license can be able to drive by themselves. But remember, when you guys come to the racetrack, make sure you bring that provisional full license with you. That way we can have proof that you are a provisional or full license holder. Alright, now that you guys have known all about the different rules that you have to follow, please make sure that if you guys kind of miss or you didn't really hear really well about what the rules that you have to follow, just go back in the previous parts of this video. And remember, you guys have to follow them to the T, because we will check. We will make sure that you guys are following the rules. And we'll give you warnings, and after a few warnings, if you don't listen, don't comply to the rules that we have initiated and instigated, I'm sorry, we're going to have to say you cannot compete anymore. Which you do not want to have, you guys, so make sure that you all follow the rules. Now, I'll give you all a bit of a heads up that at the racetrack, when you guys come forward and you sign up for the high school drags, you guys will inform us about if you have no license, permit, or if you have a provisional license. We will mark your car with a number based upon a different color, okay? So we always will mark it with HK for Harry Kerr, who's the main person we're honoring with the high school drags, and we'll put your number, either 1, 2, or etc., etc. Now, for when we're marking your cars, we're going to be marking them with different colors. We have a pink, we have an orange, and we have a green, okay? So the pink one is going to be for those that have no license. And that way, not only will we know, but the track official will know, okay, we got to make sure that this high school participant must switch before and after the race with the parent, and we have to make sure that you guys follow that, because we will have people at the finish line and on the return road to make sure that you guys have switched, okay? So we will mark your car with a pink. So pink, if we mark your car with a pink marker, that means that you are the one that has no license whatsoever. Now, if you say you have a permit, then we will mark your car with a orange marker, same thing with HK, and we'll mark it. And that way, not only we know, but the track officials know that, okay, the student has a permit and and make sure that he has a passenger. If you don't have a passenger, then we'll have to stop you and say, hey, where's your passenger? So for permits, it's going to be with the orange marker. Now, for those of you that have a provisional or full license, we'll be marking your car with a green marker. Same thing with HK, we'll mark HK with your number, but with green, that'll let us know and the officials know that you can drive by yourself. So remember, there'll be 3 markers at the racetrack that we're marking your cars with. One is the pink that has no license or any permit, and the orange one is going to be for those who have a permit, and the green will be for those that have a full or provisional license. So just giving you guys a heads up what you will find out when you guys get to the racetrack. Alright, now that you guys have learned more about what a high school drags is and also who can compete and about all the rules and regulations that you must follow depending on what type of license that you have, now you might be wondering, well, how much will it all cost? Well, as explained before in previous videos, I can show you guys where to sign up. It's at the HCRL Facebook page. And if you want to know step by step how to sign up, I have my YouTube video link posted right there. But the cost for it for a high school student is going to be $20. But just to let you guys know in a heads up, there will be a service fee of $1.40 per person. And if you have to bring your parent or legal guardian with you to ride along as passenger, it's going to be $10 for them to sign up as well. Now remember that you guys have to sign up for the Saturday session only. Okay, we're only having high school drags on Saturday. And if you guys want to bring any of your family members to come watch you drag race in the high school drags, it's going to be $10 per person as well. So if you guys just want to get one more time to understand how to sign up step by step, just click on the link of the YouTube video and find out how. Alright, now you might be wondering, well, if I make it to the finals and I win, what do I get if I take first place? Well, if you take first place, you'll be earning $100 in a check. You'll also be receiving a medal and a trophy of the day to show that you are the winner of the day. And if you place runner-up, you also will be receiving money of $50 and receive a medal and a trophy as well. Now, don't forget, we'll also be giving out prizes to the first and second place, but we'll also be giving out prizes to the competitor who had the best reaction time of the day and those who got closest to their dial-in. So we're giving out prizes there. So please make sure you keep your time slips. That way you guys can at least earn a few prizes at the high school drags. Alright, so now you guys, in this side, I'm going to just be talking to you guys a little bit about some of the requirements that we really recommend all you high school participants do before you come to the high school drags. Now, the first thing that we want to recommend that you guys do is that get a vehicle orientation. What that means is that you go and understand whatever car that you're bringing to compete in the high school drags, you understand the insides and out of it. Like, for example, very simple things you probably want to ask your parents or legal guardian is, okay, which is the gas pedal, which is the brake, or where, like, how do I hold the steering wheel when I drive? Or if you have one of those cars that is manual, you have to have a third pedal, which is called the clutch. And you also have to be able to go through the gears as well. But make sure that you guys understand how that car operates and runs. Also know, like, you know, understand, like, where does the gas go, where does the oil go. Your parents probably know about the vehicle a lot more than you do. So please ask them for some help to show them how to take care of the car and how to operate it. So do like a few test runs in your neighborhood. I would not recommend going on the roads or anything. But take a test drive in your neighborhood, understand how the car feels. That way, when you guys come to the high school drags, you'll have at least a good understanding about how your car runs and operates. Now, don't be worried if you're kind of like wondering, okay, I never really raced at the racetrack. Will I have any practice runs? Yes. So before we have any of our events or bracket races, we always have time trial runs that run in between the events. That way, anybody that wants to bring out a car that they just built or wants to have a few more test runs, they can run the track as many times as they want before the next event. So we recommend to all you guys participants, when you guys come to the races, if you're still very green and new and you've never raced here at the racetrack, do as much time trial runs as you can. Get those practice runs in, because the more you practice, the more you will be more consistent in leaving the line or shifting your vehicle, depending if you have a manual car. And also get the good launch off the line right when the light's about to turn green. And also get an idea of, like, okay, how fast can my car go from A to B? That's why we recommend take as much time trial runs as you can and make sure that you guys get enough practice. Okay, because practice makes perfect. It'll make you a much more better competitor in the elimination rounds. Now, also, the other thing we recommend for all you guys participants is check your seatbelts, please. Do not come with a seatbelt that has duct tape or tie straps to it. No, we are not going to accept that. We will be checking cars and we will be making sure that your seatbelts work. So make sure before you guys come that the seatbelt, when it goes over your shoulder or over any shoulder, depending on what type of belts you use, that it will have, it can click and it will stay locked in place. Also, another thing is make sure that for this high school drags, it must be a full body car, either 2-door or 4-door, and it can either be a car, a truck, a van, or SUV. We're not going to be accepting high school participants that have bikes, roadsters, dragsters, or any other vehicle that's just a single person that can be in it. Because if you have no license or permit, a roadster or dragster would not really have any passenger room. So make sure that you guys always bring a vehicle that's full-bodied or has a 2-door with it, with the passenger can ride in. Now, also don't forget, you guys, that we will have waiver forms that will be coming at the racetrack that you guys can sign. So don't worry about that. Just make sure you guys bring the 5 things that we said, which is wear your pants, wear covered shoes. Make sure you guys bring your tickets when you guys come to the race. Also, bring your high school ID. And if you guys have any permit or provisional license, bring that hard copy as well. So remember, do all these requirements before you guys come. Practice with the car. Know how the car operates. And also make sure their seatbelt's fully fastened. Don't come with a seatbelt with either duct tape or tie straps. That's not going to cut it. So yeah, do these few requirements, you guys, and you'll have a much more better experience at the racetrack. Also, don't forget to do a lot of time trial runs. That way you guys can have more practice time. Alright, you guys, and for this last part of this video, I kind of want to explain a little bit more of the last minute rules that you must follow before you guys even think about coming to the high school drags. So like I said in the previous slide, is that it has to be a full body car, either 4-door or 2-door car, that can at least have a passenger with you. And that's why we recommend either like your mom's minivan, your dad's Toyota pickup truck, or maybe your uncle's Jeep in the shed or something. But bring a car that's full body, either car, truck, van, or SUV. And the reason we don't have any bikes, dragsters, or any roadsters is because it's a single person vehicle. Yes, you can say you have your provisional license and you want to race it, but we'd rather have you race in a full bodied car. So remember, no bikes, no dragsters, no roadsters. It must be a full body car, either 4-door or 2-door, that can at least have a passenger alongside with you if you come with a permit or no license. Now, another rule that we want to initiate for the Herrick High School Drags is that you are only allowed to go 10.5 and slower. What that means is that for any of you high school participants that have an 8-9 second car, find a way to tune that car down or switch out for a different car. The reason why we want to have this rule is because remember, at 10.5 at the end of the quarter mile is like at least up to 133 miles per hour or a little bit over. That's way too fast for a high school student to be going in. Because remember, a lot of you have never really sit in a driver's seat of a car unless you competed in racing before. But majority of you have never even touched or feel what it likes to go in a car that fast down a straight strip of road. So that's why we recommend we go 10.5 and slower. Now if you have an 18-second car or 16-second Honda, by all means bring that. But please, if you guys have 8 or 9-second race cars that are built, find some way to tune the car down to 10 seconds or 11 seconds. Because we cannot have high schoolers go that fast. So a lot of you do not know what to do when the car gets out of control or something happens. Which is why, to make it safe and fair for all the high school participants, your car cannot go faster than 10.5. It must be slower than 10.5 in order for you to compete. Also kind of giving you a little bit of update that the high school drags is going to be run by a bracket style race, or what we would call as handicap racing. Now what that means is I'm going to be showing you guys in a few videos right here is that in the high school drags there's always going to be faster cars and slower cars. Now if it was heads up, of course obviously the faster car would always win, but to make it fair for everybody, we're going to have a bracket style race to where the slower car leads first, faster car plays catch up. So when they're about to reach the finish line, they should almost be exact when they meet each other, which makes the competition way more competitive. And that's where reaction time, and your dial-in time, and your consistency as a driver and in your car comes into play. So remember, you guys, that you must bring a full body car with you to the races. You cannot go faster than 10.5. It has to be 10.5 and slower, and the races is going to be done in a bracket style. We will probably have maybe 1 or 2 rounds of qualifying depending on how the day goes, where you make a run and we just regular heads up during qualifying and time trials. Only during elimination rounds will we have the bracket style, and you'll find out which car goes first, which car leaves last. And from there, you guys, it's all a matter of who gets to the finish line first and who doesn't break out. Now, we'll explain more about the other rules of bracket racing later on in other videos, but I just want to let you guys know that that's how we're going to operate high school drags. It's going to be a bracket race, making it fair for everybody to have fun at this high school drags. Now, don't forget, you guys, have some fun at the high school drags. Don't let it be so competitive that you got to focus on stuff. Have some fun with it. Enjoy it, because we're trying to offer this opportunity for you to go fast down the racetrack and enjoy the adrenaline rush that it gives you. And as for me, as a former racer myself, there's nothing I love better than going down that strip of road, feeling the car start shooting into the back of the driver's seat as the adrenaline just comes pumping through my body. So you guys, please, no, there's a lot of rules, but I guarantee to let you know it is fun. It is a lot of fun. It definitely will get your adrenaline pumping for sure, but it is really worth it. But come on out to try it for yourself, you guys, all right? So don't forget, sign up for the race. It'll be on March 12, 2022. And if you guys have any other questions or any concerns, or you have anyone, just, here's right here on all our contacts. We have Facebook. You also can contact us on our YouTube channels. We have the TK88 Productions and the Harriger High School Drags. We also have our email down there as well, you guys. As also I believe, our phone number as well. But anyways, you guys, hope you guys have a good day and have a wonderful day, and aloha.